Jamie Siebold. I'm with SPS. I've been with SPS for almost 10 years now. I'm one of the regional sales managers.
Hi everyone, I'm Linda Wise. I'm the VP of Strategic Partnerships for WillowWood. I've been with WillowWood 10 years now.
I'm Speelman. I'm one of the clinical educators at WillowWood, and I've been here about 5.5 years.
I understand that you've certainly launched a few products this year. I kind of see them in the background. Let's start with the SmartTemp Gel Liner. I know that came out recently within the last few months. I know it's doing well. I know it's an exciting add to your line for sure. So what can you tell us about it?
Perfect. The SmartTemp Gel Liner was actually released in April. And the first thing I want to point out is this is a new SmartTemp liner. We came out with another SmartTemp liner back in 2014 that was a silicone interface. And this new liner is actually a TPE gel blended with a heat absorption material. It is new just because of that material being TPE. So now clinicians and our patients can choose between silicone or gel.
Why would someone choose silicone over gel? Are there any recommendations around that? Is it more activity-based?
So one of the big issues is, of course, some patients have reactions to silicone. This now gives the practitioners two options in the market that are proactive solutions to heat and moisture. A couple key differences between them are obviously the silicone has been out for a few years, and during the outcomes measures, it was shown to reduce perspiration about 24% over a straight TPE liner. During the trials, one of the main goals whenever we were looking to launch the TPE is we wanted to at least match that. The team went way above and beyond, and the benefit of this one is actually about 48% heat reduction over a straight TPE liner. For the practitioner, it just gives multiple options whenever it comes to choosing the correct liner for their patient. As far as durometer and how the liners feel, silicone liners have been around for a long time. There's a lot of people that really like the durometer, the stiffness of those liners. We have found that the TPE liner, which is a completely new formula for WillowWood as far as the TPE goes, it's not the same formula as our classic or original formula. So whenever the patient dons that, they're really going to feel a difference in the firmness if they're used to wearing our classic liners. It actually fits somewhere more in between the hybrid and the silicone as far as a feel. Again, just to kind of sum that up, it's just another tool in the toolbox for the practitioner whenever they're looking for the largest problems that amputees face, and that's heat and perspiration inside their socket.
Talk a little bit about the technology that goes into the SmartTemp.
That's basically, the generic term for it is phase change material. There are many different ones out there. We kind of classify it, or we narrow it down to, we call it a PCM. How that works is it absorbs the heat, it stores the heat, and then it releases that energy. Think about it kind of as a sponge or a battery, where as the patient's activity level or wherever they live heats that residual limb up, that material is going to absorb that energy until it becomes saturated and can't hold anything. And then one of a few things needs to happen. If the patient has doffed the liner, that energy can be dispersed into the atmosphere. If the patient has reduced their activity level, thermal energy will be recycled back into the limb to try to maintain a nice residual limb temperature. If neither of those two conditions have been met, that's whenever the patient is going to So that's kind of how the technology works.
Now, as far as profiles, obviously you offer a few different profiles. Does it come in all your profiles or in certain profiles?
We actually have two profiles for our SmartTemp liners. One is our 6mm uniform, so that can retrofit with any of our other 6mm liners. Anything from the MP classic liner that everybody knows and loves for years and years. That's one of them. And then the second profile is the progressive profile, which is 9mm distally, and then it thins up to 2.5 behind the knee and 6 in the front.
So it's certainly retrofit with our current progressive style liner hybrid or...
Absolutely. That's one thing that WillowWood wants clinicians to be able to do is retrofit between liners. So if one liner doesn't work, they don't have to make a completely new socket. They can just change the liner with the same profile.
And then the same, classic awesome fabric that you typically put on all your liners, right?
You don't have a lot of longitudinal stretch, so it really helps control the pistoning.
Is there anything else that you like to add around the SmartTemp Gel Liner?
add that if, as a clinician, if you do want more information as far as outcomes measures, you can get on our website under our Center for Outcomes Resources called our core section, and you can find our outcomes measures studies on the SmartTemp liner. And then if you actually want to hear from patients, we have some really, really great testimonial videos on our YouTube channel. We have a playlist titled How Cool Is That? And we have a number of patients just saying how this liner has been life-changing for them.
And you've recently teamed up with a celebrity, patient advocate, right? Can you tell us a little bit about that relationship?
Kurt Yeager is his name, played in a number of shows, including NCI, and yeah, he tried the SmartTemp liner and just couldn't believe the difference it made in his life, and wanted to be our ambassador for the liner. So yeah, you'll see Kurt in a lot of our ads and various photographs.
You have a new liner coming out. Is it launched yet, or is that coming soon?
It's coming soon. The hope is we'll be launching that early fall. Another month or two to wait for it. But yeah, it's our new TruSeal Liner. It is a transfemoral sealing liner. Talk a little bit more about the benefits of that.
As Linda said, it is a fabric-free transfemoral seal-in style liner. The first one, WillowWood has kind of offered. It is our standard platinum-cured medical-grade silicone. But one of them is the way that we've kind of developed the fins. It is a two-step fin system. The fins aren't kind of flat, they have two steps, and that does a few different things for us. It helps minimize pistoning, and it helps control rotation. One of the other things that it really does is that second step really acts as a bolster. So one of the main things with regular seal-in liners is whenever the patients are donning them, the fins have a tendency of folding down, and that creates an air channel and a challenge for both the practitioner and the patient alike. What that bolster does, or that second step, is that keeps those fins aligned so they're pointing towards the proximal end of the liner. That way they don't have that chance of those folding over and creating that air channel. It's going to come in 9 sizes, kind of contrary to what WillowWood usually does. We're kind of going with more of an industry standard on the sizing. It's going to be size 25 through 43 centimeters. It's going to come in our symmetrical AK profile, and what that is that's 9 millimeters distal, 2.5 millimeters proximally. And what that means is, depending upon how you trim that liner, you can kind of rotate it for longevity. This is trimmed, depending upon how you trim that will determine how much you can rotate it. The liner itself, however, is going to be kind of a tapered shape, again with the symmetrical profile. WillowWood, as always, is going to offer its standard 12-month warranty with a 30-day trial period. And also one of the things we're going to offer, and this is an optional, is we're going to release at the same time a volume management pad, and that's going to be able to be used against the skin, in between the skin and the liner, to help control volume fluctuations. And you're going to get a set of 2 of those whenever you order them, and they're going to be 2 thicknesses. There's a 4.5 millimeter and a 7 millimeter thickness.
Now, are you recommending to order that with the TruSeal liner?
I think I definitely would, especially if you have a patient that has, any volume fluctuation at all. I think it's going to be necessary for a good fit with those. Obviously one of the keys to success with seal-in liners is kind of volume stability for the patient. You can't always guarantee that, no matter the patient. This is going to be a good tool to have.
Now, will this retrofit with other seal-in liners on the market today?
We didn't go through and try to design it that way. I kind of made this as a standalone product. Same profile as our AK symmetrical, but again, it's not even really going to be retrofittable with that because they're just designed to be fit in different ways. One of the things I didn't mention, however, because this is a fabric-free liner, I've heard over and over again, while it's not a big deal in the clinician's office, the use having to carry around alcohol or some type of lubricant for patients just gets to be a hassle. Well, it's not difficult. It's something else they have to remember if they have any chance of donning or doffing that. So we did make sure that we put a proprietary coating on the outside of the liner so that there's no lubricants needed with the liner. So it will just slip right into the socket. But not only did we put a coating on the outside, we also put a coating on the inside that's going to help reduce the tack of the liner and help resist with abrasions. We also wanted to make sure it's a durable liner, so we embedded a fabric into the silicone itself. Not only going to help stabilize the tissue, but it's going to really help protect against any rips or tears in the liner.
Mind grabbing that liner and just kind of giving a close-up view of it, just so
absolutely
you can see it.
Okay.
So how many seals do you have there? Is it 4?
There's 4 seals.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, I see the Koa Foot back there. Obviously, that was launched this year as well.
Absolutely. So the Koa Foot, WillowWood's first new foot in a very long time. We went ahead and we made it a fiberglass foot instead of a carbon fiber foot because we felt that there was a little bit more of a need to that market. A couple of nice things is it's a very low build height, 2.6 inches. It is a split keel design, as well as the foot shell is a sandal toe. So that's very nice. The weight limit on it is 365 pounds. Actually can be used in salt water as well. We recommend if you do take it into salt water to go ahead and make sure you rinse it very well. There are 9 different stiffness categories, and I believe size range goes up to the 28.
Awesome. Well, it's certainly low profile. I know the price is right. They're available now.
Appreciate that. It's our first fiberglass foot on the market, so pretty exciting.
We certainly appreciate your time. You know, we always enjoy seeing each other at AOPA, but during these times, it's still fun to see your faces and, you know, appreciate your time and you know, sharing the information. And we're excited to see the new TruSeal come out here sometime soon.
Yeah, and thanks for the opportunity to talk about our new products. And as always, thank you, SBS, for your partnership.
We appreciate it for sure. You guys take care.
All right, bye-bye.